Dare I say, it's a little too much for me. All of this is a little bit too much for me. The construction site dryer, the noise, my mother being forgetful and insane, my sleep deprivation, all the technical hurdles, all the shit going too slow, my printer failing, my uncle being just a stupid, retarded piece of shit. It's a little more quite funny if you put it into words. It doesn't sound like it's very much, but it's kind of been going on for like 5 weeks. It's quite nice when you have noise from 9 to 5. A different kind of noise from 5 to 9. And the fact that we had a teacher last week who was utter garbage didn't help either, you know. We're talking about a teacher who was using ChatGPT and YouTube, and yeah, that was it, you know. There was no screen sharing. There was no, I don't know, let's take another route today. There was no screen sharing in Teams because this would take up too much resources. Then we did a group video call where he made the cam, where he turned the cam on without a shirt, turns the cam off, puts the shirt on, turns the cam back on. This shows incompetency, incompetent. Holy shit, man. Quite ironic if I can't pronounce the word properly. Incompetence. This proves incompetence on the highest level. Yeah, this sounds right. And not just that, it's also the sort of passive-aggressive tone. Like, I don't know, man. This is just, you think it couldn't get worse. At this point, I'm saying everyone can be a teacher, and I don't mean this in a good way. I mean this in a very, very bad way. Yeah. It's like an alien. I also said, like, I made the analogy, Invader Zim, like this alien from planet Glorb landing on Earth. But in Invader Zim, it's an alien camouflaging itself as a student, as a pupil. And in our case, it's an alien trying to act like a teacher, but also failing miserably. Not just that. I complained on a Monday, and somebody else complained on a Wednesday, and then we have some OG Baba Kush hardcore 24/7 420 MLG Blazed smoker who has to smoke constantly weed on a constant basis, non-stop, because of his ADHD. I'm already saying Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you know, because his beast needs to be contained with tons and tons upon of THC in his bloodstream. And he's not able to speak English, but he's only learning PC stuff, so it don't matter, you know. Dare I say 50 or 60%, maybe even 70% of the PC stuff is English upon English upon English. And there's one thing if you say I don't want to learn it. It's another thing if your company says you gotta do this because blah, rationalizing jobs. But other than that, go fuck yourself. There are no excuses, especially when you're 25 or something like this. It's just bad, and you will fall on your snout. Yeah, you will fall in your mouth, and you will regret this decision. Being ignorant and stupid, not listening to everybody, already making plans, you know. I see myself as a top tier CEO, you know. What does CEO mean? I don't know, a couple of letters. SEO, you know. This forced German chat GPT, you know, this forced pronunciation. I'm like pronouncing every English word wrong, you know. Doka, instead of Joker, you know. Jokers to the left of me, clowns to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with, you know. And this is how it feels like as well. Stuck in the middle with you, yeah. With you dumb fuck. Then he's like, blah, 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 I'm doing my home server, like, every time, you know. One-dimensional personality, like a bad character written in a bad show, one-dimensional, you know. I'm evil because I'm evil, ha 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 ha. Get a new twist, get a new line, man. Be something different. I'm not saying try to force yourself to be super mega hardcore unique, but at least get a second or third character trait instead of being I smoke weed and I do this home server, and I smoke weed and I do this home server, and I interrupt, and I'm being a complete and utter annoyance. I don't not realize, huh? I don't yeah, no, realize is the best term, but I'm looking for a different one. I'm not perceiving, you know, there's no perception of me, how the surroundings are forming around me. I don't know jack shit, and it's good this way because I've declared it's good this way. And even though external factors have verified multiple times that this is a dead end, I will progress and pursue this path as it leads to only destruction. And this is good because some spirit guidance animals, this part is, by the way, not made up, you know. And not just this, then we have this other guy working, like, not officially, saying, yeah, why is the class so quiet now? They're always so quiet and whatnot. And then all these shitty teaching methods, like blah blah blah, asking for feedback, then we all give him feedback, you know, the teach, and he sort of ignores it. Yeah, I don't see it this way. Multiple issues occur. One student is like in rehabilitation. It gets mentioned a couple of times, but you've come to realize there's no learning curve, there's no learning effect, you know. It's talking like within the dementia patient. It's twice as funny if the dementia patient is a teacher, because nothing's more fun than being annoyed by some. For me personally, it's like a mosquito, like ringing on your ear, like very loudly, you know, constantly, and no change whatsoever. Just repeating patterns of being an annoying fuck. And then this guy, of course, yeah? How dare you? How dare you? This guy, of course, comes along and says, yeah, I don't know why the class is so quiet. This must be because, yeah, they suck ass. They are grown-up people, and they know why they're here. I get paid, they get paid. Wrong answer, fuckbag. Wrong answer, you know? If you gave a shit, if you tried to care, if you try to comprehend. One of the funniest excuses, you know, he said this is like his third or fourth week. He has to learn how teams work. 3 or 4 weeks into teams, and he doesn't know how teams work, or maybe more. You know, this is only in the school blah 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 contract. But seriously, man, this is just fucked. Make up some shitty resume on LinkedIn, get hired by this school, and you're done, you know? You don't need to teach jack. And prompting a little bit around and not being able to share your screen and copy pasting every answer in the chat like some black on white proof, you know? Here is the verification that I did something, you know? Yeah, this is just If you're a good teacher, you're so good that even you don't need to write down anything. There are teachers who are presenting all the time and they don't bother, you know. No camera, one thing. No screen sharing, totally different thing. Using ChatGPT constantly, another different thing. Posting somewhat randomized YouTube videos that are partially somewhat related to the topic, another thing. Not listening to feedback, also another thing. Like this guy, man, it doesn't end, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. It's just so bad. This was like 1 week, luckily. Here's what I said, because people kind of forgot. Like they said, oh, luckily the week is over. And then I said, guys, you have to look at this from a better perspective. Like, who tells you it won't get way worse, you know? You think the threshold is set? No, this might be a new beginning for new lows, you know? The head of school sort of said like, yeah, I fired like 9 teachers. Like this was some sort of achievement, firing teachers or contractor teachers, whatever, you know? How about, I don't know, man. There's so much fucked in this school system, and outsourcing everything into teams and saying, yeah, remote, online teachings and lessons, you know? You need to do a little bit more. And yeah, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm experiencing. There are serious issues of company blindness, not realizing what is wrong, you know. Not one of them teachers saying, I participate like a student, and then I see what's wrong overall. You know, it's always this external factor, I have no time. Then the head of school even writes me personally, you know, Merlin, can I talk to you? Only, yeah, you know, I respond like 2 hours later, only to get 0 answers. And you know, it'll stay this way because the head of school is so important, you know. The head of school is so very important that he can't write you back. And this is somehow helping me be motivated. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just lame. And the funniest thing about this is I was a graduate in School of Audio Engineering in Munich, you know, for 18 months. And this is not an official title, you know, not officially proclaimed, not per se. Everyone is a school of blah 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 audio engineer, you know. Everyone can get themselves this kind of fake diploma and whatnot. But here's the thing, the SAE is has been a little bit longer around the block, around the world. That's one thing. And the other thing is, like, the irony being, officially certified doesn't mean anything, you know. And you cannot officially certify an audio engineer. That's the funny thing. But an audio technician master technician, something like this, you know, needs 10 years of studying, and you need to be able to play 2 instruments and read perfectly notations and whatnot. This is what I also find quite funny, because you have the threshold of being pure and utter garbage, or being the next concerto master in whatever kind of class, and this is stupid. And yeah, luckily only 3 weeks of having no time for this, no time for that. You know, I have my smartphone in my backpack as a hotspot. I have like 50% of my smartphone set up here, 50% set up of the smartphone there. So I'm also in this kind of limbo state, carrying around 2 smartphones, and this is how my life is at the moment, you know. I'm here and I'm there and I'm everywhere, and I need to do these 50 things, and somehow I also should get like 10 hours sleep of sleep. Not possible, you know. And then I think the funny thing is, I'm a single household. Now let's imagine how fucked you would be if you had like some partner or children or multiple children, you know. I'd say, give me the bullet, man. Just give me the bullet, because this is utter insanity. How the fuck can anybody get anything done? And I also wonder, you know, 6 years since my last album, how did I ever manage to find the time to do anything ever? Because it gets more paperwork, you know. Like last week, the printer just fell out. I needed to organize a new printer. Had to set up this new printer. And then this printer, of course, needs your GPS location, because it's a printer. A printer needs to know where you are. A printer needs to know what you ate yesterday. A printer needs to know the percentual containage of nuts in your stool. This is very important for the printer to work. And then you have to work around these fucking things, you know. It's these little tiny things adding up. And also, death by 1,000 cuts, always. And I wish I could have like 5 seconds to breathe through and do my shit. But yeah, I'm just, pulling myself up by the bootstraps sorta. And yeah, like a zombie, I drag myself from A to B to C to D. Yeah, it's not helping, but what should I do? What should I do? I cannot do anything about this, against this, for this. I'm just sort of stuck. It's nice that I'm learning about PCs, don't get me wrong, but the circumstances, the fucking circumstances, man, it kills me. If we could just got the buzzwords, this would have been more helpful. I also told this teach, we have a folder structure. Yeah, sure, I'll respect it. He didn't do anything about this. He was overwhelmed by sorting files in Teams. Can you sort files in Teams? Then his teacher position might be for you. But you say, but I'm not able. Don't worry. Nobody's. After this shit show, everyone is capable. Believe me.